So we live together.
Yep.
We watch football together.
Yep.
We talk about football together.
Yep.
Why don't we just start a podcast?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Eye Test. It's myself, Lyes, and my guy, CultureCams. Obviously, this weekend is El Clasico, Copa del Rey final, Barca versus Real. And we thought we'll talk about the game a little bit, but more so than just that, kind of go down memory lane and think about our favorite Clásicos, whether it's the goals, the moments, the celebrations, the fights, everything that makes this rivalry the greatest on earth. And to be honest with you, before we talk about our favorite moments, it's actually worth talking about as well too, Cam. There was a period where this Clásico, I feel like maybe in the last 5 years, it did feel like it was starting to get a little dry. It did feel like the allure around this game had kind of gone down. Like I remember at one point when I was growing up, the Clásico was the game that even if you didn't watch La Liga, you tuned in to watch. And I do think we kind of got away from that the last few years, but maybe last year it started again. And then this year in particular, these games are back to being must-watch TV.
Yeah, I think it's always, like we always chase the superstardom in it, and in football, I feel like we've had a post Messi Ronaldo hangover, let alone the two teams that they actually played for. I mean, Clásicos were always a big thing. Like, I'm not going to downplay it at any point, but it literally reached the world stands still moment for a couple years.
Yeah, not for
you know what I mean? Yes, it was great with Ronaldinho and go further back with Cruyff and Maradona, whoever that played for the clubs. But I do think, that period when Ronaldo joined the club, Jose Mourinho joined the club, Pep Guardiola, all of that, all the way till Messi, Ronaldo, all the way, and then MSN came, then Bale and all the way till about 2018.
When Ronaldo left.
When Ronaldo
and then Messi left as well too.
Yeah, when Ronaldo left, I think we reached a point where it was like that moment was the world. And it felt like they'll play each other 3-4 times a season. So it was amazing. And then obviously, as you said, Neymar left. I actually think when Neymar left, it was a bit like, okay. Then Ronaldo left, obviously, because when Neymar left, he was still in his prime. Yeah. Ronaldo was becoming a striker. He's not going to give you as much magic.
To be fair, though, that Messi goal where the one right behind you, funny enough, that one right there, it happened after Neymar had left. Wait, was Neymar at the club?
This was 18-19, huh?
No, that wasn't 18-19. That was
17-18. This is 17-18.
No, that's 16.
17-18.
17-18? That's not the 17-18 kit.
This is the Bernabeu, 17-18, 23rd of April. Yeah.
That says 2017, bro.
That's what I said, 17-18.
No, April 23rd, 2017. That's the 16-17 kit.
Oh, this guy wrote it wrong then.
No, he didn't, bro. I'm looking at it right now. April 23rd, 2017.
Look at what it says here.
Yeah, he wrote it wrong.
Yeah, that's what I said. He wrote it wrong.
He wrote it wrong.
Yeah.
This is the 16-17. Yeah. This is the 16-17 kit. Yeah. So Neymar had left the club, I think, at this point, bro. No, he was there at the club. That's the year they did the remontada.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the last year that he was there.
Yeah. And I think after that, it started to... Because what year was it that Iniesta scored that really nice goal?
15-16. The one with the top corner.
Yeah, see, now my memories after these games started to blur.
I think there's still some classics, bro. I think I could remind you of a few. Yeah. Maybe that did happen after that one. Yeah.
Okay,
like, you know what? CR7 did the same thing. That was after that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, that one was after that game as well, too. Yeah. The 4-0 that year, that's when Barca won 4-0 away.
So like these guys play each other so much that you can get mixed up.
They get blurred.
The time when it was. But anyway, the overriding point is that when Ronaldo and Messi kind of died out, it kind of felt like it died down.
Memphis versus like Benzema.
Bro, literally.
For a Clásico.
It was honestly, it was a mess, man. So you had guys like Braithwaite playing in Clásicos and stuff. So
you remember Aguero before he had to retire? He scored in that game.
Bro, Aguero playing for Barcelona is going to be one of them things in 10 years. You're just going to see him in a Barcelona something. When did
it's
that
like Henrik Larsson.
I just forgot that actually.
You know, he scored the one goal and it was at the Clasico.
Yeah. So I think that has an effect.
I told you this story before. I've said the story a few times, but I remember early 2010s, I was going to Algeria a lot those days. Like every other summer, my family goes to Algeria, and it's always during the summer. And during the summer is when the Super Cup happens between Real and Barca. In Spain, it's always, it used to be. Now they do it in like Saudi or whatever, and they play one final. But back then, if you remember, it used to be home and away. So when I'm in Algeria, I'm always there around the time that the Super Cup is being played. And I remember in our village or whatever, we all go to the cafe for the game. And I kid you not, Cam, half the cafe is split in half.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, it's like a space that you can walk through. One half is everybody supporting Barcelona.
Yeah.
The other half is everybody supporting Real Madrid. There's a big TV. They all just watch. They all start screaming at each other. But that's like how gripping the Clásico was, and it still is, to be honest with you. And I always say this. Even people who don't watch La Liga regularly, it's the one game that they tune into a year because they know it's the greatest show on earth. So, obviously, if we're going to preview this one a little bit, the one on the weekend, obviously Real Madrid are going into this on some shaky form. Not that Barca are in like their best form of the season either, but Real Madrid obviously get crashing out of the Champions League. Ancelotti basically on the verge of leaving at the end of the season. Mbappe, I think, is going to miss this game. Lewandowski is going to miss this game for Barcelona. How do you see this game kind of playing out really quickly without previewing it too much? But how do you see this game playing out? Do you give Real Madrid much of a chance here? Because if we look at their previous meetings, they played twice this season in the Super Cup and in the league. Real Madrid lost both of them.
I think if you look at it exactly as you just mentioned, that if you look at their last results, Barcelona have walked them down. Do you know what I mean? It's been embarrassing. And then you look at the result against Arsenal as well. And you just look at how Real Madrid played. You look at the fact that Ancelotti, it might be his last game. Now, is that a positive or is that a negative? The rumours coming out of the club is that the players are actually kind of like, yeah, I think he needs to go.
Yeah.
So now that it's announced that he is going to go and they're already talking about Brazil, and is it just kind of if we lose, we lose. Don't worry, guys. We're Real Madrid. We'll be back next season. Or is it we're going to fight for this guy that's done so good for this football club? So it's up and down. So Mbappe got booed the other day. So the atmosphere is not the greatest at Real Madrid right now. So I'm actually thinking Barcelona they've been relentless, man, all season in terms of trying to score goals.
Yeah.
I can't see how Real Madrid stopped Barcelona from scoring at least 2 goals.
It feels like another Arsenal situation, right? Like, even the way you're describing it's like, are they going to fight for Ancelotti?
Yeah.
Are they going to show some heart? How about some game plan?
Bro, literally.
How about build up? How about creating chances without Valverde scoring from 40 yards out?
Facts, they got lucky the other day, innit?
But that's how they won a lot of games this season. The Lewandowski injury is obviously an interesting one, but I can't lie.
Barcelona got lucky too.
Ferran Torres has been going crazy.
Bro, so he's moving like Pedro, innit? He's moving like Pedro, and then the Barcelona always have one random guy that ends up just finding the back of the net when they need him to. You know what I'm saying, but Lower's a big loss. Lower's a big loss because he is lower. He's got 40 goals. He's scored. We know what he's capable of, but again, it's one of them instances where okay, maybe Ferran's a little bit more mobile. Maybe Ferran can. So I think creatively for someone like Lamine Yamal, I'm sure someone at Lower might be the better player to play with in terms of creating for them. But Ferran can offer different things, and we know Ferran, even at Man City, I'm sure he walked off after City with at least 20 goals.
Maybe not 20 goals. But for the minutes he played, he scored a decent amount.
I'm not saying 20 goals. How many seasons did he play?
He was there for like a year and a half. He wasn't there for that long, but
I think you saw that he got.
I say he grabbed the Prem hat trick, bro. I want to say he grabbed the Prem hat trick. I know he scored a few against Arsenal.
I mean, Marmouche got a hat trick now, and everyone getting hat tricks over there. Innit? I'm not saying Marmouche is bad, but I mean, it's not that hard to get one at City, I guess.
That'd be interesting this season, man. Honestly, I do hear you though from the point of the pride aspect, bro. Like Real Madrid owe it to their fans at this point not to get destroyed by Barcelona 3 times in a season, bro.
Yeah,
4-0.
16 goals he got.
That's not, bro, for a season and a half where he wasn't starting like ever.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty decent return for
16
Ferran.
goals, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just thinking like they lost 4-0 at the Bernabeu. They lost 5-2 in the cup. You ain't gonna get your ass handed to you 3 times in a row, are you?
Yeah,
you gotta get back eventually, man.
Looking at this team, just like what you just said, it sounds like the Arsenal game. We said, okay, but at least they're going to draw. I didn't actually think Arsenal were going to lose at their Bernabeu, but you still think, okay, Ramon, come on, you're going to at least win, and you'll lose the tie 4-2.
You know Madrid's history in the cup, though. Madrid's history in the Copa del Rey has never been strong, bro. Yeah.
Barcelona love the Copa del Rey.
They love it, but Madrid have. Yeah, that's the reason why they've never won the treble, bro. They've had plenty of league and cup winning seasons. They can't win Copa del Rey.
It's
bizarre.
It's such a strange.
It's actually very, very bizarre.
It's not to the same level because it's Real Madrid, but like it's like Arsenal never win the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, ever.
And
have they ever won it? I don't think they have
won it in like 1980s or something like that. It was something crazy.
Weird.
Early 1990s or something, and then they have never won it again. Like it's just some teams have something. I guess with certain competitions, but I am going for Barcelona one. But talking about Clásicos. Obviously, we're touching on the Ronaldo era, and we're talking on that. What Clásicos for you are like I want to say the iconic ones, but what are the ones that do stick out for you in your memory, or have like a special story for you? Like you have a special kind of affiliation to it.
Honestly, the one that always comes to mind, and it's also because of the commentary as well, too, right? But for me, the 2-2. When Messi scored 2 and
that
Ronaldo
calma?
scored 2. No, that was the 2-1.
Okay.
Again, this is really getting muffled up.
Flipping
This
hell,
was
man.
the 2-2. I actually think it was in the Super. I think it was the Super Cup as well too, where Ronaldo scored 2
yeah.
and Messi scored 2. And one of Messi's goals was like a nice free kick.
Yeah. Was that what year? Is that 12, 13?
I think it was 12-13 because
Ronaldo
it
had
was
this,
it was
yeah,
12-13. Good
yeah.
memory, but that period right there, I say that game right. Obviously, there's so many in that period, but that one in particular, it just felt like we were watching the two best players in the world at the absolute apex of their power. In fact, even the commentary literally said like, Messi, you are watching maybe the best player ever at the absolute apex of his powers. But even with Ronaldo, it felt that way as well too. Like, and it kind of was fitting that the two best teams in the world had the two best players. I mean, maybe the two best players of all time, and they were just going blow for blow, scoring goal for goal, just like, don't do that. Don't do that. That's a perfectly fine thing to say. But the way they were going at it, it was crazy, bro. Like they were just going off, man. And we were just watching the two. Yeah, you're messed up, man. Well, we can't say blow for blow now.
Man,
I think that's one of them ones. If it's used outside of football, it's a crazy one. In football, I think that's a lot to slide. But anyways, those two were just going nuts. And I think that one in particular, but a lot of those Clásicos in that period, it just felt like it was always Messi and it was always Ronaldo deciding them.
Obviously, I can't. It's hard to remember each game, how every game went and how every individual played. But I do think as well, you know, the image that says Ronaldo 2 goals, Messi, that kind of made it.
That summed up the
boosted it a little
Clásico,
bit
bro.
as well,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that's the one where
you
for
look
me,
back at it and you're like, that's the first one that comes to mind,
bro.
that they both scored 2
Yes, bro.
in that game. I think there's an iconic one though. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna. We will go back to like what Ronaldinho did at that.
You remember Figo with the pig's head?
Yeah, I mean,
I was standing next to that guy.
Yeah, that's iconic too. But I think that 5-0, bro, that 5-0 Barcelona. I mean, the whole hype that Jose Mourinho has returned.
Yeah,
not returned. Sorry. Well, Jose Mourinho has entered Spain. We know he just the season before knocked Barcelona out with Inter Milan, of course, and they went and won the treble. And you're thinking Jose's here now, Pellegrini. You know, thanks for your efforts, but Jose's gonna take it from here, and this is gonna be something special because there was a little bit of back and forth between Pep and Jose at Inter and thingy, but the Jose Pep rivalry. It hadn't started.
That was like the
it was
the
a jab.
first,
First encounter. Okay, I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
And then, so we don't know what we were going to expect. So we're thinking, okay, 2 juggernaut managers. Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. The Barcelona team's unreal. The Inter team's treble. Jose now, Ronaldo, everything's perfect. I mean, that 5-0 was just kind of a reminder that it was like Barcelona or something.
Bro, I think there's even more
different,
context because the season before, right? Real Madrid and Barca. Obviously, Real Madrid that year had Pellegrini. And it was the first year of the Cristiano Kaká era or whatever. And Real and Barca, first of all, Barca won both meetings that year, but they were very close. Very, very 1-0 and I think 2-0. And then they finished on like, bro, Barca finished on like 98, 99 points. Real Madrid still finished on like 96. Under Pellegrini,
very high.
They had a really good league season.
Yeah.
And then you're adding, at that point, Jose had just won the Champions League with Inter. His stock at the time, he was considered the best manager in the world coming to Real Madrid. And that was the first Clásico of the year. And you're thinking, oh, could this be kind of what levels the balance? And what's funny, I don't know if you've ever seen this quote, but the week before that, Barcelona had beat, I think, Girona 8-0. And Cristiano Ronaldo said, oh, they won 8-0. Let's see if they can even score half of that against us. And Barca won 5-0.
Oh, wow.
And then for me, what made that even more fitting, Piqué did 5. There's the iconic clip of Messi walking off.
Is that the limping
and he's
thing?
looking, and Ronaldo's looking at Mourinho's like in this, and he's like kind of looking at the score line and stuff like that. And then that's also for me where you first saw, I won't say that we first saw it, but it really like boiled over in terms of the aggression, because that's when Ramos grabbed Puyol in the face and threw him, and Pepe was getting into it, and Piqué. That's when you really saw tensions boil over. It became more than just, great players on the pitch going at it. They start fighting each other.
Yeah. I mean, that took the Clásico to another level. It's the Jose.
The Jose. Honestly, it's like you put what's called oil and water. Or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, you know that meme when the guy puts thing, he's trying to close the pot and the fires,
bro.
But no, that's literally what it is. I mean, Jose added a fire, and look, the players have spoken about the way it affected Spain, despite them still coming together and winning trophies. They said he damaged the camp. You know what I mean? He did. Real Madrid players did not like Barcelona players. Barcelona players did not like Real Madrid players.
That's Jose, bro. He makes
that's
it
what he does.
Siege mentality and us against the world mentality.
And the thing is, though, I think that's what Real Madrid needed at the time, because there was a love affair with Barcelona at the time, if we're being honest. Everybody loved Messi. Everyone loved Iniesta, Xavi, the football, the Spain. they needed to come in. They needed an antagonist. They needed something to shake
And the
this
two
up.
best antagonists in football ever.
Exactly.
Cristiano and Mourinho.
Exactly. You know, the Portuguese madmen, you know what I mean? So it was needed. So I think that was one of them games.
I remember that
stick.
game.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's crazy because there was a 6-2, right? Remember there was a
That
6-2.
was, yeah,
That was in
08,
08-09.
Yeah.
But this one tops it.
This was a
because of-
thrashing. Yeah.
Just because of what was there. Ronaldo wasn't there. The other ones. Like,
Yeah.
what added onto that
No,
one?
5-0 because bro, 6-2 at that point, Barca were flying.
Yeah,
Madrid
yeah.
they were okay.
Mhm.
Like it kind of felt like it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
5-0, honestly. I'll tell you what, I remember that game really well because those days, right? My dad has always been. I feel like most Man United fans in general, it's like Man United, but everyone has like an affinity to Real Madrid. But me, I really liked Barca those days. So me and my dad, we watched Barca and Real a lot. But those days, well, you wouldn't know because for you it's what 7, 8 p.m. But for us, it happens right after I return from school and my dad is still at work. So what we used to do a lot back in the day is VCR, record it and then watch it when my dad gets home.
Yeah.
And bro, I was dying to watch this game, bro. Because bear in mind, I'm home. I got nothing to do, and the game's going on. But I told my dad I'll wait for him. I'm waiting. And all this, the whole week, this whole Clásico is just being built up and built up and built up. And I remember just watching it on recording, just watching goal. I said, "Yo, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life."
What was
It
your
honestly
favorite
felt
goal?
the only thing similar to that I can think of is the 7-1 with Brazil. Like you just never expected
Yeah.
Real Madrid to get destroyed 5-0, bro.
It was mental. What was your favorite goal?
In that class, in that
Yeah,
one, that game in
yeah.
particular.
I liked
The David Villa's goal was really
his
and
celebration. Was
you know
cool as well.
that game it has a lot of meaning for David Villa because David Villa before that point was kind of looked at Barca. Is he really gonna get going? Is he like when are we gonna see the real David Villa? Because David Villa before Barca was a gunman. That game I think was like the start of David Villa's Barcelona career, and he never looked back from that. And the goals that he scored that game, that's like typical David Villa. Like the finish is just typical Villa, bro. The celebration. That game Messi didn't even score, bro.
Bro,
Messi didn't score that game.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he had a very good
Yeah,
game.
he had an
as well.
amazing
He
game.
had a
Yeah,
very good
Heffernan
game.
scoring the 5th, bro.
Yeah. I think that was do you know
Oh,
what?
Xavi's goal as well too. Do you remember the one where he like flicked it and he's like spinning?
Oh, yes. That's
hard.
good. That's a good goal as well. There's been so many Clásicos. Like there's been so many. You know what? I'm gonna go to recent times.
Okay.
Real quick. I'm gonna go to the 4-0 just this season. Let me tell you why. Right. Thank you. Statement. And what was so interesting about it is that I think that game happened. It happened in October because I was on holiday. That's when I was in Greece, and obviously the game's going on, and I was like watching it just briefly, not too much. I was catching a bit of it. I was like, it's 4-0, and that's when I just got on TikTok. Yeah, because I was away, so I couldn't do a review, nothing. I was like, I don't be using my TikTok. I just got on TikTok and we're just like 4-0. Oh my god, blah blah blah, and it just went viral.
That was your little
that was my insanity run. You know what I'm saying?
Insanity.
It just went crazy. It just went crazy, and that felt right. You're looking at what Barcelona are doing this season, and you remember who the goal scorers were: Loa Brace, Yamal, and Rafinha. That was like, that was like a sign of things. That was like maybe obviously the season has started, but that was like an announcement that this is the proper front three, and that demolition of Real Madrid. We gotta remember. We may be looking at Real Madrid like how we're looking at them now. But when we walked into the season, they just brought Mbappe in.
That was Mbappe's first Clásico. You remember how that went for him?
Yeah, 50 million offsides. He walked into that with Mbappe after winning the Champions League. Let's try and put our memory to what we thought of Real Madrid going into this season and what they were with Kylian and stuff. And for that to happen, for him to have, was it a record 9 offsides?
It was
8
like,
offsides?
bro, it was like more than 10, bro.
Oh, something insane offsides. And for the games to end up like that, I was just like, wow.
Nah, it was ridiculous, bro. It was a statement, bro. That's the only way I can. And it could have been. The thing is, with that game, it could have been 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Lewa missed an open goal in that game, like, bro. Yamal scoring and doing that to the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
It felt like a moment, bro.
Honestly, I was like, yo, that is.
By the way,
mad.
I want to give a special shout out, right? Free promotion actually for this guy. You know Sid Lowe.
Yes,
This is one of the best. A lot of people always ask me, what books do you read in football?
Yeah.
I always this one right here, Fear and Loathing
When did
in
it
La
come
Liga.
out?
Huh?
It looks like 2012. They're both looking at their 2012 kits.
I can't remember if it was 2012 or if that's just where he wrote it, but whatever. This is one of the best football books you will ever read, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I haven't even read it,
depicts the entire history of the Clásico, why they hate each other, the Figo. Honestly, one of the best books in football, bro. Shout out to Sid Lowe anyways, because that guy's a GOAT. But other moments, and for me, a big one as well, too, bro.
I know you're going to go, yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go?
Ronaldinho, surely.
No.
Ah.
I mean, I think a big one, a huge one in terms of like kind of restoring the balance and power. Because again, it felt like at one point no matter who Real Madrid were signing, Barca were just the pinnacle of the game. I think that Ronaldo goal to make it 2-1 at the what's it called, the Camp Nou, and to silence the crowd of that celebration. First of all, I think that game won them the title that year.
Yeah.
And secondly, it just felt like, okay, Barca, you've had your fun. This is it, though.
Yeah.
We're going to get La Liga back. We're going to do it in this style.
Yeah.
Messi, you've been running amok the last 2 years. 91 goals, I think, that season. But we're here as well, too. I think that goal right there to silence the entire Camp Nou is one of those goals in Clásico history that will live on forever, bro.
I think that's the most iconic moment in Clásico.
I think that one behind you as well, too, is pretty big.
I think Ronaldo's is bigger.
You reckon?
I think Karma is the biggest thing.
You reckon?
100%. You got this over Karma.
I think those are the two for me. This one's this
was cold, but
this
I don't
one
have
was
this
crazy.
Over Karma. Calma.
Yeah, calma. Yeah,
Everyone just started saying Karma.
Yeah.
What? Nah, Karma. This is good.
This
right?
guy had
This is
Ronaldo doing
good.
some celebration a year later, though, bro. He rattled Ronaldo with that one.
Marcelo is instigator there, bro. Don't let Ronaldo go out like that. Marcelo instigated that. But this is cool. This moment is iconic, obviously. I mean, the way time felt like it
it stopped.
Down.
It's bro.
When Messi was running up to that ball.
Oh my
it was just,
God, man.
I remember sitting there, I was like, ooh,
Bro.
boom, goal. But I don't know, Karma, something about Karma, like gold Real Madrid kit as well. The pinnacle of that rivalry of that season. Like Real Madrid was so good that year. Over 100 goals, 100 points as well. 100 points.
I think that was their first
Ronaldo
win.
scored 60
I think that was their
something,
first
60
win at the
goals.
Camp Nou, by the way, in a long time, bro.
I think Karma is the biggest moment. What do you think the biggest moment is?
I'm saying
you
for
think
me,
it's
this one is big, bro. This one was really big, man. Honestly.
Let's ask the people. What's the bigger moment? What's the bigger, more iconic moment? Is it Messi holding up his...
Hold on. If we're going big Clásico moments, let's take it away from La Liga. What about when Messi at the Bernabeu dribbled 8 players and scored Casillas?
No, see, that goal...
Bro,
no, 100% that goal.
That might be the moment in Clásico, though, bro.
That's an iconic moment. Like...
Okay, you're talking celebrations.
I'm talking about... I'm kind of talking about like...
But
still
that
kinda,
right there, you talk about the world stopping, bro.
Yeah.
I can't lie. That goal, you know when we talk about best goals ever?
The thing is, the game was done, though.
No, bro, no, it wasn't. It was 1-0.
Real Madrid weren't going to go through, though, no.
It was the first leg. No, hold on. Was that the first or the second?
Second leg.
No, it was the first leg. It was the first leg at the Bernabeu. Yes, bro. The second leg was 1-1. The first leg was 1-0. It was 1-0 at the time. Messi had scored the first goal, and it was still like the 60th.
Why did everyone look like they were just already dead and shot?
It's Messi, man. Just the Messi effect, bro.
Even the whole way that happened was kind of weird.
Bro, that goal right there.
But that goal is
Yo!
I don't
think that goal gets enough juice when we talk about like best goals.
It does.
That never gets brought up, bro.
You don't think so?
When we talk about best goals ever, or like best goals that we've seen or whatever, I don't think that gets enough shine.
I think it does.
Especially the stage, bro. Like that goal is crazy, bro.
That goal was crazy. That was just kind of like a sit down, shut up type
come
goal.
On, man.
From that was mad. So what do you think? You think that's the most iconic moment? But then you got the
Ronaldinho.
You got the Ronaldinho goal where he just cuts through.
Oh, there's so many.
So the pig, I'll leave it because that's not. It didn't end up really being it's like separate to football.
Okay,
probably. But like the Ronaldinho running, checking Ramos, boom,
Held
that game.
ground,
You know what I mean? The all the white stuff that was on the pitch. It just make everything was looking cool. You know what I mean? Like that's legendary because also, again, we're talking about a changing of the guard. That was really Real Madrid Barcelona stamping on Real Madrid. Like, hey, Clásico hype. We're the ones this is going to be our little era right now. So that was unreal. I think that's in the top 5 easily.
What were we saying top 5? I think PK's this is in there.
Ooh,
I think PK's this might be in the top 5.
Is?
So I hear you. Ronaldo Calma's there. I think that
100%.
one right there is there as well too. I think Dino's standing ovation.
Is in there. Messi's run in Champions League.
And I think PK's 5 might be in that as well too, bro. You know, I think PK's 5 might genuinely be in there.
I need to think about that PK 5. What else? Let's think about that. Was there anything else that's in there? Those 4 lock.
Yeah, lock for sure. You know, okay, I don't know if this is in. Okay, you know how I said that CR7 goal at the Camp Nou was a moment for me that changed the. Actually, I'm wrong. The moment that gave Madrid some juice back in this rivalry was Ronaldo's header in the Copa del Rey final in 2011.
Yes.
To get them their first trophy.
Yeah.
Finally get theirs against Barca.
Yeah.
It was his first goal against Barcelona. I think. Period, bro. Yeah, that was his first goal. Period, bro.
I think we're being very Ronaldo. I think we're being very all-time great bias. It's got to be Gareth Bale Bartra. It's got to be Gareth Bale cooking Bartra, bro.
That's hard.
We're thinking about the goats.
That moment is crazy
Bale,
too.
come on, Cop Del Rey, come on,
rounding Bartra. Oh,
doing
man.
Bartra like that, then
That's
scoring in the
crazy.
final like
that's
that.
crazy.
That's got to be in the top 5.
That's
That's
in there
got
too.
to be gotta
think
go
so?
over. That's got. They won the game.
That one
Bro,
is crazy. That
he
one
got
is
pushed
crazy.
off the pitch. He kept going.
No, that goal. Oh, man.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Gareth Bale has got. I mean, deep it. If Ronaldo scored that,
Yeah, that's nuts.
then we'll put that in top 2 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
There's just so
and you're
many
talking about
moments,
Messi's
bro.
solo goal. That's a solo goal. Bale's Cop Del Rey final to win it. The Ronaldo header's amazing because of the significance of what you said.
I think
but that Bale moment.
No, the Bale moment is huge. Ronaldo wasn't even on the pitch for that
Like,
one.
bro, 90% of the time, like anytime I see a player now like running off the pitch, I'm like, oh, he thinks he's Gareth Bale.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He thinks he's Bale. You know what I mean?
That,
So-
bro, and you know what? For Bale as well, too. First season.
Yeah,
To
man.
grab that goal when Ronaldo
Come
wasn't
on.
even on the pitch is.
I think that's a top. I think that's a good top 5.
That's a good top 5.
But what's the order? What's the order?
I think Bale goes 5.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think Messi's goal goes 4 in terms of the run. I think Messi's goal goes 4.
You think Dino is ahead of Messi's?
Dino, bro, is
Dino's
special.
is mad.
I'm not saying what's the best goal. Best goal is a
you're
different
just
thing.
saying.
But just in terms
Even
of
Dino's goal was unbelievable.
yeah,
too.
sure. But in terms of moment,
yeah,
like Dino getting that round of applause is crazy,
that
bro.
will live forever, innit?
I think Dino goes 3rd, and then the top 2 I think are interchangeable. I think the top 2 are interchangeable.
You know,
that was a moment, bro. Honestly,
this is a
Messi
moment,
going
but-
like that.
This was a moment, but for some reason, this was a moment.
It was a bro,
This was a
but
moment.
2 for
But
me
you know,
are
I'm thinking, is this higher than Dino and Messi's other goal?
in terms of moment. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, because it's last minute, that adds
yeah.
to it.
No,
innit?
and the celebration too, bro.
Yeah.
Messi for his run, I think he went and ran and celebrated like
Yeah.
Adriano or someone like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's a crazy.
Yeah, but he was moving mad though.
Those are the days Messi didn't know how to celebrate, bro.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
against Man United when he scored? He just went like that and kicked the speaker.
But I wanted to slap that you, bro. I swear down, bro.
He had no idea how to
And Danny
celebrate
Alves
back
was
then.
gassing it up as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Karma.
Yeah, you like that one.
I think Karma was just so cold, and the fact that everyone started saying Karma afterwards, the whole calm down. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Karma. Something about.
I definitely
Karma
think
was-
though, don't sleep on that Ronaldo header.
Yeah,
That header was crazy,
that
bro.
was crazy. That was crazy.
The Di Maria cross to the Ronaldo header.
Yeah, that was mad.
Who did you guys have as commentators here in the UK, by the way? Who was commentating? Was it
Damn, we had,
Graham? Was it
Jerry Armstrong?
Jerry Armstrong? Yeah. Yo, go.
Yeah,
Jerry Armstrong. What's the other guy's name?
Bro, I spoke to both of them.
Bro,
In
legends,
podcast,
by
I've
the way.
literally
Legends,
spoken to both
by
of
the
them.
way. Yeah. Nah, bro.
Jerry Armstrong and Rob Hunter.
Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
yes.
Goats.
Yeah,
Goats.
yeah.
Rob Hunter, by the way, lovely bloke, man. Honestly, I've interacted with him on Twitter before.
It's so funny. Like, honestly, do you know why Jerry Armstrong used to kill me so much? Yeah, because it's like he was like the stat finder.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
I don't know, Ronaldo would score and he'll be like, and that's his 27th goal, and he's on the way to the Pachichi. He used to love them. Messi has scored. Messi has 29 goals, and
Rob
he's leading
Palmer,
for the
not Rob Hunter. Rob Palmer and
But
Jerry
Hunter
Armstrong.
was La Revista La Liga.
Rob Palmer, Gary Armstrong.
Yeah.
No, they were goated.
Yeah.
But you know who I had on my side?
Who?
So
you had that shouty guy.
We
innit?
had Ray Hudson and
Yeah, Ray Hudson.
what's the other guy's name? Shoot. Ray Hudson.
Guys, you guys don't know about Premier La Liga, man. With Rob Palmer,
Nah, Rob
Jerry
Palmer is a
Armstrong,
goat.
and you had Gaziga Mendieta in the studio
Yeah.
with Guillaume Balaguer and Hunter.
You know who we had? We had like Bobo Vieri and we had like ours was goated as
and then
well
you had
too.
the guy, the host. I can't remember the host name, man. He was really good as well.
Ray Hudson
Guys,
and
these are the days,
Phil
man.
Phil Schoen. Bro,
Schoen.
those two, the amount of all-time lines that Ray Hudson gave us in La Liga, bro. But Ronaldo, he had a nickname for Ronaldo, bro.
What was it?
He called Ronaldo the Dark Invader, and he used to call him Darth Vader, bro. He goes, another goal by Darth Vader, bro. He used to gas these guys up crazy, bro.
Everybody knew what the best thing about it is that everybody knew we were living in a time,
Bro,
You know what I mean?
it
I
was
don't
crazy.
think like I haven't seen. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't feel like you didn't appreciate that era.
Yeah.
You knew what time you like. You know, back when you're in secondary school
Yeah.
or in high school, whatever, and it passes, and you're like, damn, did I
Yeah.
appreciate high school
100
enough?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't feel like that with the
No,
with
honestly,
that era, with that
I
classical era and
appreciated
stuff.
that as
You
to the
knew
max,
you were
to the
living
max,
in
to the
pure
max.
legendary
The only thing is, I wish I could
moments.
relive it, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys, I know we're gonna have young guys and you're saying old heads or whatever.
Yeah,
I think the sport peaked at that point. Honestly,
I think it did as well.
everyone thinks their era is the best, but that period of La Liga, I'm not saying the Premier League, that period was the best. That period of La Liga, I don't think there has ever been a higher level of football on display for like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
That was crazy in terms of entertainment, in terms of storylines, in terms of quality, in terms of star. Oh my!
I always
even
say
the
that I
coaches
think-
were superstars,
Yeah,
bro.
I always say I think around 2018, the game kind of, for me, that's when I started being like, game's kind of meaty.
But
And that's not nothing to do with Man United. We've been meaty the whole time.
2010 to like 2017, 18, those Clásicos.
Yeah,
Chef's kiss,
yeah,
bro.
chef's kiss.
Chef's
They
kiss,
were.
man. You remember the Ronaldo goal in the Super Cup?
So what's the best goal?
This is one of them.
Okay.
Well, the goalkeeping was sus for this one. But when Ronaldo heel flicked it over his head.
Yes.
Again, Valdez kind of
Yeah,
gassed
that
it
was
up a little.
shaky, but that was
But
kinda
that
cold, didn't it?
flick was crazy,
That was
bro.
cold. That was cold.
Crazy.
There's been some good goals.
Best goal I think is Messi.
Yeah,
I think it's that one, bro.
Yeah, that was.
That
good
one
goal.
was
That a great
crazy.
goal. His free kick against Casillas. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Casillas. Sometimes I'm like, you
No,
know,
but that
short
free kick
hands,
was crazy.
but
But Ronaldo in the cup as well too, because when he copied that celebration,
Yes,
cutting in
ooh.
top corner.
That was a moment, you know, because that was going into 17, 18.
Yeah.
They had just won the Champions League
The
very
year before,
convincingly.
yeah.
Ronaldo went crazy. That kind of felt like it really felt like Real Madrid were stepping on Barcelona and that.
whooped
And
their ass
I
in the
know,
league
innit?
that
It's
year.
weird.
Yeah,
It's
no,
weird
Real Madrid
because
fell off bad
when
that
they
year, bro.
went there and then Isco was there and stuff, I was like, oh, like it really
Yeah.
felt like this is now
Yeah,
they
yeah.
finally
Bro,
taken
16,
it
17,
back.
Real Madrid
Yeah.
were crazy,
Crazy
bro. That's
team.
the year they won the league in the
That's the best
Champions
team
League.
they've had.
I think so. Yeah,
Because
that
I
and
think
I
that's
think
the
11,
best-
12 was crazy too. Even though they didn't
Let
win
me
the
tell you why
Champions League.
11, 12. Okay, 11, 12 is
For me, those are the top two.
That's
I agree.
the best
16,
team to
17.
never win the Champions League.
Yeah, I agree.
That team was ridiculous, but that team were counter, speed, ferocious. That was unreal, right? But 16, 17 was the first time for me Real Madrid had, what's that? Pausa, they say, yeah? That calm, that composed. And that's because when Isco came in, that's the best football I think I've seen Real Madrid play.
I think the thing with
that
Real Madrid
football with
team,
him in the diamond.
Yeah.
Hey, that
You know what else as well
football
too?
was
That Real
mad,
Madrid
bro.
team, they just could beat you in so many different ways.
Yeah,
as well, too.
man.
Because bro, their bench was. You know, they won the league that year because of their bench.
Yeah.
Bro, they had Morata.
Yeah, James
But
Rodriguez.
Morata was
on the
still
bench.
considered like a top striker
Yeah.
those days, bro. The reason he went to Chelsea for 70
Yeah.
mil is because he was a really good center forward. He just couldn't get over
Yeah.
Benzema.
Who was on their bench?
James,
Morata, Isco. Well, he came
Isco,
in.
Gareth
but
Bale. They had a really good bench.
Hesse.
Was
Hesse
Hesse
Rodriguez?
there? Hold on, I need to look up this bench. Real Madrid 2016, 17.
What centre back would have been on the bench? Pepe?
Pepe, bro.
Yes,
2016, 17.
They,
Bench.
was the keeper?
Nah,
it was still Keto Navas, man. Yeah.
Asensio. Asensio those
Remember,
days.
he was just coming on scoring
Yeah,
screamers
yeah,
every
yeah,
week.
Yeah. They had Danilo as a sub those
Danilo,
days.
that is a stacked
Yeah, bro.
squad.
Their
That is
their
a
bench
stacked-
is like they were able to rotate so much, and they went on a crazy winning run that
Yeah.
season as well too.
The
Remember,
diamond was
Yeah,
was
bro.
actual tactical master.
Kovacic was on their bench as well too, bro. Kovacic was a nice little piece to bring on.
Zidane
Yeah.
don't get enough credit for that team.
Zidane doesn't get enough credit, period, bro.
Like everyone talks about him tactically, but for him to kind of look at Bale and be like, yeah, Bale, I'm not going to give into player power or anything like that. You're going to have to kick rocks a little bit and watch Isco come in. And not only am I going to bring Isco in and then force Isco as a right winger and just isolate him and make it cringe, he put him, we're going to play a diamond formation. Benzema's going to be roaming around like he does. Isco's going to be conducting. It felt like you're watching Real Madrid and 80% of the time, Isco was just on the ball, pirouetting, turning, da-da-da. When you got Modric. That he doesn't get enough credit.
Zidane doesn't get enough credit. Period.
get
Even
enough
when he came back as well too, bro. The
Yeah.
teams that he built to win the league. But best goal outside of Messi, Iniesta. That goal was crazy.
That goal was crazy.
Because that move was crazy as well
Yeah.
too, bro. And then top corner, standing ovation that game as well
Benzema
too.
scored. That was really nice. You remember those
He
when-
like falling back bicycle kick.
Is that when he had? That's when he was. Ronaldo was gone though.
Oh,
Yeah, there was one where Ronaldo was gone.
I think I know which one you're talking about. Where he like runs, he dribbles.
Yeah. That was it was a really good goal. After VAR review that I made you go through, it's not Jude Bellingham's. It's not true. I told you,
Ah!
10 seconds should have saved that, bro. He said 10 seconds should have saved that, bro. Hey, you should have saved that. But I gotta go Ronaldinho. I'm gonna go Ronaldinho's.
Dino's.
Yeah, I just like the way
That one is
the
nuts.
drop of the
Yeah,
shoulder,
yeah.
boom, and the fact that he took it near post. Casillas couldn't move, just looked to the side, and he just runs off. Yeah, I gotta go with that one as well. That one's up there.
I'm trying to think, we're not missing any like ones from more niche players.
Niche
We're thinking of the big
players.
ones.
Yeah, we are.
Is there any one that like completely just
Sure, there'll be
evade our memory?
Laudrup probably scored one, man. Laudrup
Oh,
probably scored one.
do you remember Alexis Sanchez's dink over Diego Lopez?
Yes.
That little like
That was-
Alexis.
yeah,
You remember the commentary for that?
I don't remember the
Alexis.
commentary for it. Nah, I don't
the La
remember
Liga
it, man.
commentator.
That was a really good goal. It's such a slept-on goal, innit?
Bro,
What
I
was
need
it?
you need
That another like 4 something.
No, that one was 2-1.
Okay,
Yeah,
you just
bro,
think that.
I
was
need you to just hear the
beautiful.
commentary for this one, bro. This one was
That was
crazy.
a
The
great
Spanish
goal.
commentary. Alexis.
Alexis, another one that was just always showing flashes at Barcelona, but
Yeah,
never
yeah,
really.
didn't really take off until.
Yeah.
Is it this one? Alexis.
Let's go. Alexis.
That one was really good as well too, man, for sure. Yeah, I think those are some good ones, bro. I think those are some good ones.
Yeah, I think those are the guys. Let us know, man.
Yeah,
there
let
might
us know
be
as well,
some
too.
that
Are we
have
forgetting anything?
that might have like personal. You might have like a personal like feeling towards as well. Do you know what I mean? Because of where you watched the game, who you were with, just the moment it happened, where you were in your life, or whatever. There's always something that makes a goal feel a little bit more special. I remember what goal we were talking about, like when we were talking about the time when Ronaldo announced that they're leaving the club.
Yeah,
We
well,
have like special
yeah,
stories about
yeah.
that. There's always something that attaches you to moments. So
You know
I
what's
think
it's so
you
funny
know what
about-
goal I actually like? Sorry, you know what goal I actually like? Yeah, and I don't know why I like it a lot, but it's no. Remember when Messi dinked Casillas and Cannavaro kicks the
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like
He goes
Messi
crashing into
that
the post.
season just
Yeah,
looked
that was his
so-
announcement. That was
No,
his
not even
announcement.
about his. He looked so cold, bro. Like you know,
The
when you're talking
long
about
hair,
aesthetics,
yeah.
the gloves.
Yeah, his hair wasn't that
Barca-
long actually. His hair was
Nah,
like
it wasn't that long. The
immediate.
bars. That's when he first cut it.
Yeah.
Then the Barca the half kit.
Number
I love
10
that
on
kit.
his shirt on
That
the
was
first time.
Number
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was he wearing the yellow Addy Zeros at that point as well too? I think he was. I think they were the
I
yellow.
don't know
Yeah.
in that game if he was wearing it for that game.
But I think
bro.
that season
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had the blue Addy
Blue,
Zeros in the
yeah, that's what I
final
was
for
thinking,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. He had the blue
It
Addy
was
Zeros.
Yeah, that's when his
That Barca
aesthetics
kit was
going
cool.
crazy.
You know what's so
Yeah.
funny about the Clásico though, huh? I gotta give you credit. You
Mm.
called the season in terms of Barca's emergence. I remember you were saying like, "Yo, everyone's talking about Madrid right now, like
Yep.
gassed up, the Galacticos."
Yeah.
It would be so fitting though for Barca to do what they did with like, the academy
Yes.
guy and like they come from the shadows and they ruin the party.
Yes.
That's
bruv.
exactly what's happened.
It's exactly what's happened. I remember I wanted to get that clip up. Like I can't remember what episode it would have been in. That's the only problem. But maybe Mbappe's announcement or something.
It was. Yeah, we were talking
yeah.
about Mbappe. Yeah.
Because bro, football never works the way you
does.
think it is. Like, yeah, they're gonna come and they're gonna treble and do. But I'm like, nah, man. Like, it just never ever works that way. And look, it just happens to be. Look, I really Barcelona are starting to scare me a little bit though with this league. It's like they don't want to win this league. Sometimes I feel like they're not trying to win it, even though they snuck it last minute with that Rafinha penalty, but. It's just the way football works. They tried that in the 2000s, man. It didn't work. But Ronaldinho emerged from nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Samuel Eto'o and Ludovic Juli and do these man. Like, it didn't work. And it could be a situation again where it's team chemistry over superstars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here we are again. You know what I'm
100.
saying? Here we are again.
You know what? It's a sleeper, by the way, for best goals in Clásico. I think Yamal's the season.
Yes.
The near post of his right foot.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that's a
yeah.
crazy goal, bro.
Yeah.
That's a like.
Yeah.
It's just 'cause it's new.
Yeah.
But I think in a few years we'll be talking about that one as like, okay, that's again one of those moments, bro.
It's true. It's true.
Crazy.
You know what? Again, bro, there's so many moments. We can keep saying again. But we're even forgetting Messi's hat trick.
As a kid. Yeah.
As a
yeah,
kid,
yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
not in up there?
I was thinking about that as well too. The
Moments?
third one as well is crazy.
Yeah,
It just
man.
dribbles, and then far post.
Did you know, like, and do you know what really, and it sounds like I'm just telling a fake story, like what Stephen A does sometimes, right? But I can't find the article anywhere, and it's genuinely, it's blowing my mind. And I don't know if I read it in a Match Attack. I
It
don't
might
know
have been a magazine or something.
where I saw this, but I'm 100% convinced. After that game, Raul said to Messi, "You are going to be the greatest player of all time." like, you're the best player in the world. Like, he told him after that hat trick.
Really?
And I've searched it on the internet so much, and it's not there, bro.
Mandela effect.
Yeah, bro. It's not there, bro. He told him this, bro. I promise you, bro.
The only way to find out is ask Raul.
Yes, I swear to you, I am going to meet Raul one day and come, because this is one of them things that have stayed in my mind so much. I've searched it high and wide so far, and it's not on the internet, bro. But I'm sure it was like after the game, he said it in the chat that like, bro, it's just I don't know, man. I can't.
That was a
I
crazy
can't
moment,
find it.
though,
Yeah,
bro. I can't
man.
lie. Messi scoring a hat trick at
Yeah.
19 years old against Real Madrid is that's legendary
different,
shit,
yeah,
bro. But
yeah,
that's why, you know, when we talk about like what does it take to beat Messi's career, bro, there's so many
Nothing.
like story, bro. Scoring a hat
can't.
trick at the against Real Madrid at 19 is insane, bro.
You can't beat Messi's career, bro.
Nah, I don't think it's, bro.
can't
You have to
beat
be
Messi's
perfect.
career.
You literally have to be
can't-
perfect.
You can't beat it, bro. Like, you can't beat his career. The only blemish that Messi has in his career, and that's us just being ridiculous because of the standards everyone gets held to, is that he went 8 years without Champions League.
Yeah,
And
it used to be the World Cup and international, and even now
yeah,
did that.
and even then, it's like
No, but even
he's
that,
got 4. Okay, I think he's got 3. I don't give him that
Champions League.
2006.
Yeah, he's got 3 Champions
He's got
Leagues.
3 Champions Leagues, so that's ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't win the Champions League every year. So
Nah, I hear it.
it's just-
Guys, let us know about the Clásico, man. What's your favorite moment? What's your favorite goal? What's your prediction for this weekend as well, too, man? The greatest show on earth. Hopefully it entertains us again this weekend. So for myself, Lyes, my guy, CultureCams. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to check us out on all our platforms. Make sure to shout BR.
I like that top. Very nice top. Where'd you get it from?
This guy's asking me now, Zara, man.
Nice.
Appreciate
Sometimes
you.
you gotta give him credit, man. Lyes, you know what I mean? He doesn't really dress that nice.
Say
you know
no
what I
more. Why
mean?
don't you show
So
you
when-
the pants you're
so
wearing,
when-
dude?
So when he does, you've got
Say
to
no
give him
more.
a shout.
I don't dress
man.
that nice.
That's a really nice
I've seen
top,
you wear
know
like
what I
that
mean?
green
It's
jacket.
like a PSG. It looks like a PSG kind
A
of.
little sun slight.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad you're not wearing that green jacket for the 1,000th time, by the way. That should
Bro,
be...
I ain't seen that in donkeys.
You wore a
bro.
green jacket last week.
Which one?
The Adidas one.
No, but that's not the same as the one that you're talking about. Look at you. trying to
Anyways,
add
check
that
out
in, bro.
VR on all platforms, TikTok, IG, X, and YouTube Shorts. Always powering this podcast. We'll see you next week. Peace.